What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Game Nights. This show is brought to you by Wizards of the Coast.
We have a very exciting game for you today. We're playing with the brand new cards from Strixhaven, School of Mages. But before we get into that, we got to talk about our sponsor.
That's right, cardkingdom.com/command zone. That's our affiliate link if you want to buy Magic Cards sealed product. And this month, we're doing something extra special. We're teaming up with Card Kingdom to donate $20,000 to Magic Kids, an awesome foundation that's focused on bringing Magic cards to schools around the nation. If you're a teacher or you represent a school or an after-school club, make sure you check out the website magickids.org because you can apply for one of Magic Kids kits and have it sent to your school.
Yeah, this is just a great program, and we've talked about many times, Jimmy, just how good Magic is for helping kids to learn, right? There's so much math and reading involved, and it's a game that kind of tricks you into learning, so it's really good for kids.
So make sure you check out all the information below, and again, anytime you use our affiliate link, cardkingdom.com/command zone this month of April, you're helping donate to this amazing cause.
Yeah, it really is a great cause. And another way to support all of our content is directly if you go to patreon.com/command zone. There's all kinds of awesome perks for patrons, like getting to watch game nights and extra turns earlier than everybody else. They also get to join our community, our family, and our Discord and talk with Jimmy and I on that each and every day. So again, patreon.com/command zone. We appreciate all of our patrons and everybody that supports us that way.
And make sure you stick around to the end of the episode because, as always, we've got tons of awesome swag to give away to you, our viewers. But before we get into the episode, Strixhaven, there are 5 different unique colleges. How the heck am I supposed to decide which one aligns most with me?
Yeah, all those factions, there's definitely something for each personality type. If only there were like a series of videos that would explain what each school does.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Why did I choose Witherbloom?
Why did I choose Witherbloom?
Why did I choose Witherbloom?
Because I don't mind getting my hands dirty.
Because no cave is too dark.
Why did I choose Witherbloom?
Because I get to work with animals.
Because I have a green thumb.
Because
in Witherbloom, I get to be me.
Witherbloom, a place where you can grow.
So you think you could be Silverquill? Call yourself one of us, try and say we're the same. Carry our title and brandish our name.
What's in a name? With the Stygian ink that flows thick through our veins.
We craft poems and prose into blades from our brains, slicing sharp through our foes with each refined refrain.
From the darkest of swamps to the vastest of plains.
We train in the arcade.
And you think you could be Silverquill?
We are the leaders, out front the trendsetters. Slick, stylish go-getters, you won't find any better.
We are the speakers whose words shape the discourse.
Armed with artful imperatives, our adjectives out in force.
You can hate us, but don't even try to debate us. We are in our own league.
We have flow that keeps flowing. We will never stop going. No sign of fatigue.
You want style cut with power and the guts to pursue it?
Want respect and acclaim and to know how to use it.
You think you could be Silverquill?
Prove it.
How's it, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Game Nights. On this one, we're going back to school, and we've brought in one of the pillars of the community.
What's up, everybody? It's Olivia, and I'm back again on Game Nights. You might know about me from being a member of the Commander Advisory Group, from cosplaying all sorts of magical characters, or from my Commander stream that happens 3 times a week on Twitch.
And we're so excited to invite in a brand new guest.
Hi everybody, I'm Kat, aka TarmoKat. You might know me from my cosplays like Vraska and Marin and a ton of others. But today I'm here for the first time on Game Nights and I'm excited to throw down.
On this episode, we're going to be playing with the brand new cards from Magic's latest set, Strixhaven, School of Mages. This world revolves around 5 colleges: Lorehold, Prismari, Quandrix, Silverquill, and Witherbloom.
This is such a bright, fun set on a brand new plane. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I can't wait to see how it handles itself on the battlefield.
I chose Silverquill College, and my commander is Felisa, Fang of Silverquill. My pit, my ear, your soul. This deck has a 4-step plan. 1, get counters on all my non-token creatures. 2, sacrifice them so I can have more token creatures. Step 3, repeat this process with all sorts of synergy on the board. And then step 4, profit.
The college I chose is Witherbloom, and my commander is Dina, Soul Steeper.
Green tea or black?
So this is a gain and drain deck. I want to set up as much repeatable life gain as I can. I can also capitalize on that life gain in other ways, so I can get tons of value. And hopefully I can just drain my opponents to death.
The college I'm attending is Quandrix, and my commander is Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios. This is a double-faced commander. On the back is Journey to the Oracle, a sorcery that puts a bunch of lands onto the battlefield. So I can then cast the front side. Jadzi has a new mechanic called Magecraft. So I'm trying to cast instants and sorceries, reveal some huge things off the top, and cheat them into play for only 1 mana.
So the school I'm representing is Prismari, and my commander is Veyran, Voice of Duality. So my deck is all about taking advantage of my commander's second ability. I want to get permanents into play that trigger when I cast instants and sorceries, and then I want a bunch of cheap cantripy spells so I can double my triggers over and over and over. And, you guessed it, bury my opponents in an avalanche of value.
All right, let's do this.
Pencils down, it's time to fight.
All right, let's take him to school.
It's time to teach my opponents a lesson.
Here at Quandrix College, our students think a little bit differently. We are innovators, inventors. We are mental equestrians always looking for that next big brain challenge. Might seem like we have all the answers, but in reality, we're more about the questions. How fast? Oh, way faster. How big? So much bigger. Could a human outrace a dragon? We should probably look into that one a little bit more. The first thing that we need to do is assume that a dragon can scale something like an animal that we already know of, and that our human is going to be a 1/1 token with Swiftfoot boots on, or else this is going to be a real short race. But this is obviously getting a lot more complicated, so I think I need some help. We also have to consider whether or not our dragon will be breathing fire on our other competitors. So of course, if you are moving that swiftly with something like Swiftfoot boots, the boundary layer around a person through a dynamic. And I guess it matters what kind of dragon we're talking. Realize here is that the bigger the thing doesn't necessarily.
If you're still with us, you might be one of us. Quandrix College. You've got answers, we've got questions.
When you walk through the Lorehold Hall of Alumni, an aura of distinction hangs thick in the air. Scholars, leaders, and champions line these walls. Scholars like Anderson Langley Hart, genius crypto archivist who successfully restored 300,000 scrolls from the Lost Library of Alexandria, in the process uncovering evidence of a larger, more ancient, and even loster library. Leaders like Tanya Yearly, legendary explorer and diplomat who intervened in a decades-long civil war, channeling the spirits of Gandhi, Mangara, and the belligerent grandmothers of the 2 enemy warlords to forge a lasting peace agreement. Champions like Titus Marsh, renowned pro-Mage Tower player who, when the rest of his team was sick with severe food poisoning, drew upon the stratagems of Genghis Khan and Aldrich Lunarch Marshall to win the 1946 Mage World Cup entirely by himself. Countless legends line this hall, but at its end, an empty portrait hangs. It stands ready, waiting for those who have the drive and the courage to earn their place among giants. Lorehold College. Start your story.
You begin with nothing. And then, a spark. An idea. It takes hold of you. That spark becomes a flame. It's a drop of water that becomes a river. A torrent changing all it touches. You are an artist. Where others see chaos, you see a canvas.
It's not easy, but you fight past your doubts. You persevere. You're passionate. You're proud. You're a prodigy. You are Prismari.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to school. Of course, we have brand new playmats from Strixhaven from UltraPro, so let's check them out. Wow.
Man, we are good at that.
We are
very nice.
And Kat, it is your first time on the show, so we know what that means. Jimmy, would you like to do the honors?
Absolutely. I dub thee Dame Kat.
Arise!
Yay, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Welcome to Game Nights.
Only one may stand.
All right, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, I will draw for turn, and then I will play Forgotten Cave, tapped. And that's it. I'll pass the turn.
All right, drop. I will play Plains, and I'll pass to Jimmy.
Okay, I'll draw for turn. I'll play a Temple of Mystery. I'm gonna scry one. I'm gonna put it on the bottom of my library. And then I'll pass turn to you, Kat.
All right, I will draw for turn. I will play a swamp, and I will cast Valentine, Dean of the Vein.
New card.
Yeah, it's a vampire warlock. So I get this card out turn one, and I'm feeling great. Olivia's commander wants things to die, and this totally shuts that off. So let's hope it sticks around.
I'm not okay with this, and it cannot stay on the board. No.
And then I will pass the turn to Josh.
Okay, I will untap, draw for turn. I am going to play a Training Center. Then I'm gonna tap 2, and I'm gonna play Arcane Signet.
Hey.
Nice.
And then that's all I can do, so I will pass the turn.
On Josh's end step, I will play an Enlightened Tutor.
Okay.
And I'll search my library, and I will find Archaeomancer's map, and put it on top of my library. And then I'll go to untap, and I'll draw my card for turn.
What was that card that you drew for turn?
It's fancy. You guys will see it soon enough.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna play Soul Ring.
Nice.
Turn two. All right, I'll play Archaeomancer's map.
Ooh, sweet.
So when that enters the battlefield, I'm gonna search my library for 2 planes, and those will go into my hand.
Wow. 3 mana, draw 2 in white.
This is one of the new cards from Strixhaven that I am the most excited about. This is really good ramp in white. Not only does it put 2 lands into Olivia's hand, but there's a pretty good chance it's also gonna end up putting those 2 lands onto the battlefield, and maybe many more.
I'm done causing problems. I will pass the turn to Jimmy.
Okay, I'm going to untap and draw for turn. I'm gonna keep things simple. I'll play a forest and play Sakura Tribe Elder.
Steve!
I love this card. It's always great to have an ability to ramp at instant speed. Not to mention, I'm trying to get as many lands out into the battlefield as possible. Okay, that's it for me. I'll pass turn to you, Kat.
I will untap, I will draw for turn. Now I will play a forest, and then I will cast my commander, Dina Soul Steeper.
What is life without a little sacrifice?
Cool.
So the thing I'm scared about the most on Dina is that triggered ability. And in fact, she already has a way to do that. She has a creature with lifelink. So our life totals are gonna be under pressure this entire game.
So it's only turn 2, and these 2 pieces are already an amazing start to my game. Then I will move to combat and attack Jimmy with my Dean.
Ooh, okay. It has menace, so it can't block. So I'm gonna take 1 damage and go to 39 life.
And I will gain 1 life from my lifelink. That will trigger my commander. And because I gain life, you will each lose 1 life.
Yep, I go to 39.
Okay, I go to 39.
I go to 38, so it's like you attack me for 2.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap. I will draw my card for turn. I mean, I have to play a land.
Yeah, do it.
All right, I'm gonna play a mountain.
When you play that mountain, my map will trigger. So I will put a plains into play. Already, the Archaeomancer's map is doing serious work for me, and I could not be happier. Now, if I have enough lands in my hand, I just keep ramping all game.
All right, then I'm gonna tap 3, and I'm going to play my commander, Veyran, Voice of Duality.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, so my commander is here. I really built the deck around that triggered ability. So my plan is to get things out that trigger off when I cast instants or sorceries, and then double all those up. I hear doubling things is good. Voice of Duality. I'm just gonna be happy that we all sang together and, you know, we felt united for that one moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pass the turn.
Okay.
Oh, harmony. So I'm gonna untap everything here and draw for the turn. I'm gonna play Shine Shadow Snarl. It'll come in untapped. I'm revealing a plains from my hand.
Not bad.
And then I'm gonna play a Blood Artist.
Oh gosh, why is everyone draining my life?
So Olivia is totally cramping my style. I'm the one that's trying to gain life and drain my enemies for life.
Kat thinks that she's the only one that can ping people for damage. I have entered the fray.
Wow, this is the second drain life effect now on the board, which means that we're just gonna die twice as fast to it. Fortunately, that Valentine is still on the table, which means that Blood Artist and Olivia's commander won't trigger when creatures die. As long as I can develop and keep my game plan going, I think I'm definitely gonna be able to keep up.
And then I will pass the turn to Jimmy.
Okay, on your end step, I'm gonna sacrifice the Sacred Tribe Elder, go find a basic island, and put it into the battlefield tapped. And because of the Dean on Kat's table, Steve is actually exiled.
Okay, no Blood Artist trigger.
All right, I'm going to untap and draw my card for the turn. Okay, I'm going to tap 3 and cast Cultivate, and it's one of the new Mystical Archive cards.
Ooh,
so pretty.
That is so cool.
Love it.
And I'll find 2 lands. I'm gonna put the island onto the battlefield tapped, and the forest into my hand.
Not bad.
I'm really focused on setting myself up for the late game. Right now, the board seems pretty clear. I can just keep ramping, keep going on my plan, and hopefully no one messes with me.
And then, even though I don't want to, but I do need to, I'm gonna play Windswept Heath.
Okay, that triggers my map. And because you have 5 lands and I only have 4, I'm gonna put this plains on the battlefield.
Here's the thing, I'm a lands deck. I'm trying to put out lands all the time. So if anyone's going to really fuel this map, it's gonna be me. Feels kinda bad, but I can't stop what I'm doing just because of that.
All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'll pass turn to you.
All right, I will untap and then draw for turn. Then I will cast Blood Researcher.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
So Kat has had a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop, and they're all in this nice little plan that care about gaining life. The creatures get bigger. I'm already a little scared about what her deck's doing over there. It seems to be working together very well, and I can imagine scenarios where we take a ton of damage out of nowhere pretty soon.
I'm gonna go to combat. Jimmy, I'll attack you with Dina, and Olivia, I'll attack you with Valentine.
In response, I'm gonna cast Generous Gift, targeting Dean Valentine. Like we saw with Jimmy having to exile Sakura Tribe Elder, this Valentine is gonna be a problem for me. I need my creatures dying, not exiling.
Oh, the Dean will die. But at least I get a 3/3 elephant.
Oh.
So I'm really sad to see Valentine go. Not only does it turn Olivia's deck back on, but it was also my only source of life gain. This sucks.
And when the Dean died, that'll trigger Blood Artist. And Kat, you will lose 1 life. I will gain 1 life.
I'll go to 40.
I'm back at 40.
Insult to injury. Well, combat's still happening. And I guess I'm still getting smacked, so I'm gonna take 1 and go to 37. That is commander damage.
All right, I'll pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap. I will draw my card for turn. I'm gonna start by playing Jori N, Rune Diver.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So Jori N may look a little bit innocuous. However, in conjunction with my commander, it is possible to trigger twice and draw an extra card if the second spell I cast on the turn is an instant or sorcery. So check this out. And then I am going to tap a red and play Overmaster.
Oh, I love this card.
So it's my second spell for turn, which will trigger Jori N. But because that's a sorcery triggering Jori N, it will actually trigger twice because of my commander. So I'm gonna draw 3 cards. 1 for Overmaster, 2 for Jori N.
That Jori N's kind of scary now.
It's becoming pretty apparent what Josh's strategy is here. Most of his cards are probably gonna say, draw a card. I'm so tired of this. We've gotta stop him before it gets started.
And also, I should say when I cast that Overmaster, Veyran triggers, but triggers twice because of their own ability. So it's a 4/4 now.
Jeez.
Okay, I'll go to combat. And Jimmy, I'm gonna swing at you for 4.
Hey!
Okay, I have no blocks, so I'm gonna take 4 damage and go to 33. And that is commander damage.
Commander damage, I suppose it could matter in my deck.
For your commander specifically.
Yeah, unlikely, but still could. All right, and then I am going to play a Frostboil Snarl. and I will reveal a mountain in my hand so that it comes in untapped. Then I'm gonna tap that land and play a Soul Ring.
What the heck?
And then I'm gonna use that Soul Ring
What the heck?
to play a Silver Mirror.
Yikes.
That's a problem.
That is all I can do this turn.
Okay.
So I will pass. Go ahead, Livy. I'm feeling really, really good. I just put out a ton of mana ramp and I already have my engine set up. As long as nobody messes with my board and I can untap with all this stuff next turn, I feel like I am gonna rocket into the lead in this game.
So I'm gonna untap everything here, and then I will draw for the turn. All right, I'll play Caves of Koilos, and then I'll play Mangara the Diplomat.
Dang.
It's like Jory N's evil cousin.
Yeah, it's great.
Sorry, Jimmy, sorry, Kat. We all know I'm not gonna stop drawing cards. And the fact that I have to cast 2 cards to do that means that Olivia's probably gonna draw a bunch of cards this game too.
Josh isn't the only one that can draw extra cards. And then I will also play Felisa, Fang of Silverquill. My pen is mightier than your sword.
Nice.
Nice.
The whole deck is built around her second ability. I'm super excited to have a bunch of tokens with a ton of counters and just start getting the value.
So not only does she still have a blood artist out, but now she's got Felisa too. If she can find a way to reliably sacrifice her creatures, we are in big trouble.
All right, spicy plays for me. I'll pass the turn to Jimmy.
I really hope Jimmy hasn't been sandbagging some kind of board wipe. Because look at his board and look at ours. It would be the best time to do it.
Okay, I'm going to untap.
Wait, you're not gonna activate your fetch line?
No, I don't want to use it yet. I'm gonna draw for turn, and then I'm going to play the Courser of Crewfix.
Oh. Courser of Crewfix, a pretty powerful card because when Jimmy finds a land on top there, it is like he's drawing a card, so it's card advantage. There is a disadvantage though in that all of his opponents know every card that he draws from here on out.
I will play now with the top card of my library revealed. It's a Gush. Well, that is not a land. So I'm gonna crack my Windswept Teeth, pay 1 life, go to 32, find a tropical island, put it into play. That's going to trigger Courser of Crewfix. I will gain a life and go back up to 33. And then I play with the top card of my library revealed. It is Nissa, Steward of Elements.
Still not a land.
Oh, that's a bummer, but totally fine. As long as this Courser sticks around, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, I'll play a Forest. That's gonna trigger my Courser again. I'll gain a life and go to 34. And then I'm gonna play Retreat to Coral Helm.
Not bad.
This is a super versatile card. It lets me control the top of my deck, which my commander loves. If I can trigger the second ability at instant speed, like with a fetch land, then I can even stop crazy commanders like Josh's for swinging in for tons of damage.
Hey Jimmy, how many spells did you cast this turn?
That was my second spell this turn.
That'll trigger Mangara. I'll draw a card.
Jeez.
It's the white cards that are ramping and drawing her cards. It's like the world is upside down.
It really is.
Right?
Okay, that's gonna do it for me. I'll pass turn to you, Kat.
All right, I'll untap, draw a card for turn, and I will play a swamp, and then I will play Savra, Queen of the Golgari. Ooh. So first of all, Savra is just a badass. Second of all, she synergizes perfectly with my commander. So if I use Dina's ability to sack a creature, I can gain life, and then I can drain my enemies. I will go to combat.
Yep.
I will attack Josh with my elephant and Jimmy with my blood researcher.
Okay, I do not want to block, so I will take 3 and go to 36.
Okay, I can't block because of Menache. So I'll take 2 and go to 32.
All right, I will pass the turn.
I will untap and I will draw my card for the turn. All right, I'm gonna start off by playing Electrostatic Field.
Oh, lots of damage now.
This is one of the key cards in my deck. In conjunction with my commander, it means it'll trigger twice and do 2 damage every time I cast an instant or sorcery. And I plan to cast a lot of instants or sorceries this game.
That thing is going to be a problem, and fast.
Okay, so I still have the 1 floating. It's gonna still be floating. I'm gonna play this mountain tapped for a red, and I'm gonna play Crash Through.
Okay.
So this is one of the few 1-mana cantrips in the deck that I actually care about both lines of text. Yes, I want to draw the extra cards, but giving my commander trample is also important because it's liable to get very, very big, hopefully this turn. That is my second spell for the turn, so there's gonna be a bunch of triggers actually. Okay. Olivia's will resolve first though, because of active player and non-active.
I'll draw from Mangara.
Yep. And now my triggers resolve. The first one will be Electrostatic Field. Deals 1 damage to all of my opponents, and because of my commander, that'll be 2 damage.
Down to 38.
I will go to 30.
I'll go to 38.
And the second trigger is Jorien, which will trigger twice. So I'll draw 2. The third trigger is Veyran, which becomes now a 4/4. And now Crash Through resolves it. And I draw the card off of that.
Jeez.
That's some stuff is happening.
I expected Josh's cards to be pretty insignificant, just draw him a bunch of cards, but this gives his creatures trample, which means it's even harder to block. He might even be able to one-shot someone if he has a big enough turn.
So I'm gonna add a red to the one floating, and I'm gonna play Krark the Thumbless.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this card is really, really sweet with my commander because it's gonna trigger twice. The worst case scenario is I lose both flips, which is not even that bad because the card's back in my hand and I can just cast it and try again. And as you've seen, most of my instants and sorceries are very low CMC. Then I'm going to add a blue and I'm gonna play Thermal Flux.
What are you doing?
It turns a non-snow permanent into a snow permanent. I'm gonna target my Silver Mirror with it to turn it into a snow permanent. Awesome.
We know nothing in his deck cares about snow. He's just gonna copy it and draw a ton of cards. That's gonna trigger his commander. It'll get huge and be a problem for somebody.
So trigger, trigger, trigger. 2 damage to everybody from Electrostatic Field.
I'm at 36.
I'm at 28.
I'm at 36.
But the cool thing is Krark's gonna trigger twice. So I'm gonna flip 2 coins and either copy the Thermal Flux or bounce it back to my hand.
Okay.
So odd will be bounced to my hand, even will be copied. I'm gonna roll 2 dice. So copy it twice.
Wow.
I have 3 copies of Thermal Flux on the stack. They will all target the Silver Mirror.
Ugh, another instance of Josh paying 1 mana to get 3 cards? When is this gonna stop?
Nice.
Very cold.
But that's 3 triggers on Veyran. So Veyran is now a 10/10. Then, because why not, I'm gonna tap 3. I'm gonna cast Wheel of Fortune.
Gimme.
What?
Oh boy.
Honestly, this isn't the worst for me. I don't have many cards in hand, so I'm fine getting a new 7. Plus, honestly, if Krark copies this, like, what's the worst that can happen? 7 new cards is 7 new cards.
This is an odd spot to play Wheel of Fortune because my hand's not empty, but it's the last instant or sorcery that I really have. So I just want to trigger my commander more, do some more damage with Electrostatic Field, and get some new cards in my hand that hopefully are instants or sorceries. Okay, so again, there's a bunch of triggers. Electrostatic Field, 2 damage to everybody.
Down to 34.
Down to 26.
And I'm down to 34.
Okay, now Krark again will try and either copy or bounce this to my hand. We might wheel 3 times in a row though. All right, same thing. Evens we copy and odds bounce to hand. All right, so 2 even numbers, which means I'm gonna copy the Wheel of Fortune twice. So we're gonna wheel 3 times.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm actually feeling pretty great about this. I get to fill my graveyard up and I get 7 new cards. It's working out pretty well for me.
So what we're gonna do is discard our hand, draw 7, discard that, draw 7, discard that, draw 7 more.
This is kind of bad. Both the black players have huge graveyards. They definitely have the ability to pull stuff out of there. Josh might have just done everyone a favor.
All right, so we wheeled twice, put all those cards in the graveyard, but the third wheel we get to keep, so we all end up with 7 cards in our hand.
Yes, good.
Okay, I have Courser of Krufix, so that means the top card of my library is revealed. That also means that you all would have seen every single card that I drew, so here's my hand, I guess.
Alrighty.
Courser of Krufix is actually pretty sweet here. We get to see Jimmy's whole hand as he's drawing it, so we know exactly what we're working with. Plus, nothing he has is that scary, so that lets us play what we want to play and not fear a bunch of counters coming from Jimmy.
So we're looking at Jimmy's hand. The Balaged Recovery is kind of the card I'm eyeing with the most trepidation. Because we just wheeled so many times, Jimmy's graveyard is pretty full. So that effect sort of becomes like a tutor at this point in the game, which is very powerful. Okay, so 1 last trigger to resolve, or 3 I suppose, because I copied Wheel of Fortune twice. My commander is now a 16/16. So Jimmy, yeah, I'm sorry, man, but I'm gonna swing at you for 16. Remember, it has trample because of that earlier crash through.
Oh no. Okay, I'm doing the math here. This is gonna put me at 20 total commander damage, but Josh is tapped out and it doesn't look like he can do anything else. So fingers crossed, I can't afford to lose my Courser right now to a chump block. I'm just gonna take the damage and hope I don't die.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take the damage. I'm gonna go to 10.
Oh.
Ooh.
And how much commander damage have you now taken?
That is putting me at 20 commander damage from Josh.
Wow.
So Jimmy declines to block here, and that means he has 20 commander damage marked on him from my commander. If I hit him with Veyran even 1 more time for any amount of damage for the rest of the game, he's out.
I didn't even realize I was 1 away from killing you. You probably would have blocked if it was the case.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I guess I'll pass now.
An hour later.
Josh is drawing a ton of cards and has all of the value on the table. He's going to do some really terrible things. Hopefully everybody else sees what I'm seeing and we can kind of band together and deal with him. Can we agree Josh is the problem?
Oh, he's been the problem.
Yeah, he's absolutely the problem.
40 episodes.
Thank you.
So now we're to the part of our program where everybody at the table decides that Josh is the arch enemy. But I'm looking at the table and my life total is still very high. It's pretty early in the game, so I think it's unlikely they're just gonna be able to take me out before I untap. And if I get another turn like the one I just had, I might be too far in front for them to catch me, even teamed up.
I'll untap.
On your upkeep, I have those 3 thermal flux triggers, so I will draw 3 cards.
Jeez. And then I will draw. I'm gonna play a Plains for turn.
Okay.
I'll cast Arcane Signet.
Cool.
And then I'll play Monologue Tax.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
So I build the deck that's like, I'm gonna cast 2 spells every turn and take advantage of that. And Olivia's playing the deck evidently that's like, I'm gonna tax my opponents when they play their second spell specifically every time. So, seems pretty good against me.
I'll go to combat. Josh, I'm attacking you with Felisa. Kat, I'm attacking you with Mangara. On that attack, Mentor will trigger. I'll get a +1/+1 counter on Mangara.
So it's a 3/5 now?
Yeah.
What are blocks? I have no flyers, so I am forced to take 3.
I will take the damage and go to 31.
And I will go to 33.
And I get lifelink from Mangara. I will gain 3, up to 37.
Jeez.
All right, I will pass to the turn to Jimmy. Godspeed, my friend.
Okay. Going into my turn, I'm kind of in a dire situation. I am at such a low life total. I really need to put something on the board because everyone else is developing out their boards so quickly. If I don't do something this turn, I'm definitely gonna die. I'm doing math.
Well, we know he can get any card out of his graveyard.
Right.
And then
He has many cards in his graveyard.
Right now he's calculating, can I kill Josh?
I don't know what the calculations are that are going inside Jimmy's head, but I'm a little bit scared because it's probably coming at me. He sure is taking a while to think about this, and every second that goes by, it makes me a little more worried. What's he gonna do?
Avert your eyes or be faced with the full glory of Sun Titan! Pretty impressive, huh? Yeah, I am quite the sight. Recently, though, I've begun to notice my magnificent hair has been thinning. My enviable locks are definitely more than 3 mana, so when they're gone, I won't even be able to bring them back. That's why I've started using keeps, the simple, stress-free way to prevent hair loss and keep your hair. Look, there's nothing wrong with going bald. 2 out of 3 men will experience hair loss by the time they're 35. Take Inferno Titan, for example. He looks really cool. Totally hot. But me? I just can't imagine life without my luscious locks. Luckily, with Keeps, saving my hair has been easy. They let me set up a doctor consultation online, and now my prescription is sent right to my door. The packaging is discreet, and my treatments only cost $10 a month. Now I can use the money I save to buy more sunblock. As you can imagine, I go through that stuff like crazy. Seriously, I could basically drink it.
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/nights to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/nights with a K to get your first month free. Keeps.com/nights.
All right, I'm overloading Cyclonic Rift. Negate. Force of Will. Mana Drain. Bluster Storm. Reiterate.
Oof, this stack is out of control. Everyone's casting spells like crazy, but I'm all tapped out.
And then I'm gonna flash out Hot Soup with Vidalca Nori. Wait, why? You'll see after that.
Well, this might take a while. Luckily, I brought my RAYCON wireless earbuds, so I can pass the time listening to high-quality audio while they figure this out. Ah, that's better. These RAYCONs look great, quickly and seamlessly pair with my phone, and they've got 6 hours of battery life, so no matter how long this takes to resolve, I'm set. And without any tangled wires to worry about, I can hold priority on chillin' out. RAYCON's offering 15% off all their products for fans of game nights. And here's what you gotta do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/nights. That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire RAYCON order, so feel free to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/nights. Nights with a K. Again, buyraycon.com/nights. They've gotta be done by now, right?
Then I cast Electro Dominance. Is that it? Well, I have 1,000-year Storm out.
Nope. Back to listening.
All right, I will pass to the turn to Jimmy. Godspeed, my friend.
Okay.
So Jimmy is obviously scheming something, and all I know is I hope it's pointed directly at Josh.
7, 6, and then 2.
Go down to 2, he says.
No, not life. Mana.
Okay, I'm like, wait, what?
Quandrix needs to do some math to figure out how to
You are
not
Jimmy
die.
Wong. I could see you being like, go to 0.
Oh my
It's fine, coming back to 1.
So I'm looking through my graveyard and my hand, trying to find the optimal play. I think at this point, I gotta go for as much value generation as possible.
I think I've discovered the equation that is the most optimal for this situation. Okay, I'm going to untap, and instead of drawing, I have Life from the Loam in my graveyard. I'm gonna use the Dredge ability, so I'm gonna mill Temple of the False God, Ancient Tomb, and Flooded Strand. And Life from the Loam will go to my hand. And then I'll reveal the top card of my library because of the Courser. It's a trade route.
Okay, a lot of information. So we know for a fact Jimmy has 4 lands in hand. If he casts Life from the Loam, he'll get 3 more. I think we can probably all see where this is going.
I'm going to tap 2 and play Life from the Loam. I'm going to get a Flooded Strand, an Ancient Tomb, and a Temple of the False God out from my graveyard. I put those into my hand.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna do something fun, and I'm going to cast the backside of my commander, Journey to the Oracle.
Oh, this is fancy.
Ooh.
I'm so excited to finally play this card because I have a ton of lands in my hand thanks to Josh's Wheel of Fortunes and Life from the Loam. I'm gonna be able to put them all onto the battlefield right now. If no one stops me after that, I'm gonna have the best turns of my life.
I technically have 2 triggers here on your cast.
Okay.
I get a card draw from Mangar the Diplomat, and I will also get a treasure token, both for your second spell.
Nice.
Okay, carry on.
So I can put any number of land cards from my hand onto the battlefield. Fortunately, I have 7 lands in my hand. They are Flood Strand, Misty Rainforest, Breeding Pool, Myriad Landscape, Ancient Tomb, Temple of the False God, and Vesuva, which will enter as a copy of Temple of the False God.
Holy crap.
Wow. I'm super proud of Jimmy for casting a sorcery from the command zone. And secondly, he got land! He's mana! This is the most exciting thing ever! He's breaking the Jimmy Wong Mana Screwed curse! I'm so happy for him. You obviously have more lands than me, and I have the Archaeomancer's map.
Yes.
But I don't have any lands in my hand.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
And then Journey to the Oracle says, if I control 8 or more lands, I may discard a card and return it to its owner's hand. So I'll discard the Jangling Automaton.
And your commander's back in your hand.
Yes, it is. That's going to trigger Courser of Crewfix 7 times for the 7 lands that enter the battlefield.
Oh, wow.
Holy
Courser
cow.
gains me 7 life, so I go up to 17. Oh, and I forgot, I'm gonna pay 2 life for my Breeding Pool to enter the battlefield untapped, so I'm actually at 15 life.
So wow, that's a lot of lands entering the battlefield. And honestly, Jimmy gaining all that life is important because he was on the cusp of being knocked out, and now he's a little bit more healthy.
Okay, so now I have the 7 Coral Helm triggers.
I have to decide whether I'm scrying or tapping stuff down right now, and looking around the board, everyone's identified Josh as the #1 threat. So I'm gonna tap his creatures down and hopefully maintain their focus on him so I get a little more breathing room.
I'm gonna use 3 of them to tap down all 3 of Josh's creatures.
Fair.
All right.
Yeah.
I did smack you for about 20 this game.
And with the other 4, I'm gonna scry 1 4 times. I'm gonna scry Trade Routes to the bottom, scry Kodama's Reach to the bottom, I will scry Glasspool Mimic to the bottom, and I'm gonna scry Noxious Revival to the bottom.
Sweet.
Forest on top, all right.
Because you don't have enough lands, right?
Okay, I'm done scrying, so I'll put the rest of the cards here. And as of course, of Crewfix, I can play the land off the top of my library, so I will. I'm gonna gain a life and go to 16.
Yeah, so Jimmy taps down all of my creatures, which is a little bit scary because it means I'm shields down for the following turn. And Kat's basically gonna be able to do whatever she can and as much damage as possible to me, I'm sure.
Retreat to Coral Helm triggers. I'm gonna scry to the bottom. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep on doing stuff. So I'm gonna sacrifice the Flooded Strand. I'm just trying to see better cards on top of my library now. Go find a basic island and put it onto the battlefield. And I'm gonna lose a life, but when the land comes into play, I'm gonna get a Courser of Crewfix trigger and a Retreat to Coral Helm trigger. So I'm gonna be net even on life. I get to scry 1 again.
There's a lot of effort being put into whatever's on top of Jimmy's library.
Yeah. So I'm gonna scry this to the bottom. And now we'll reveal Muse Vortex. That's pretty interesting.
Ooh,
new card.
Yeah.
Okay, I can work with this card. It's really powerful, synergizes awesome with my commander, and it draws me a lot of cards. And right now, I'm looking at a pretty light hand, so refilling that is gonna be really important.
I'm gonna keep that on top, so I'll put this card scryed to the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna tap 3, and then I'm gonna cast Balaged Recovery, which everyone knew was in my hand.
Yep.
Right.
And I will get a Coiling Oracle, and then I will tap 2 and cast that Coiling Oracle. We know what the top card of my library is, so I'm just gonna draw it into my hand.
Nice.
Jimmy having an X spell with this much mana for next turn, he's gonna wreak havoc. He's in green, he's got big stuff. He's in blue, he can do terrible stuff. Not super excited about seeing this card go into his hand.
And then I will reveal the top card of my library because of the Courser, Amulet of Vigor. Good card. That's going to do it for me, so I will pass turn.
Woo! Okay. So at the beginning of this turn, I wasn't that worried about Jimmy. I was actually hoping he'd help us out against Josh. Now he's got a ton of mana, and now he's starting to actually look like a threat himself. Hopefully when I get to my turn, I can actually get some more stuff out and catch up with all these guys. I will untap, draw for turn. Okay, I'm gonna start off by casting Village Rites. And I will sack my elephant. I'll draw 2 cards.
Cool.
So a few things are gonna happen. That will trigger my Savra. I'll gain 2 life. I'll go to 33. And when I gain life, I'll have 2 more triggers. Blood Researcher gets a +1/+1 counter and becomes a 3/3. And Dina makes you all lose 1 life.
All right, I go to 32.
Down to 36.
And I'll go to 15.
But because a creature died, Blood Artist will trigger, and I will target Cat. You'll lose 1 life, and I will gain 1 life.
Okay, I'll go to 32.
And I am back at 37.
I'm gonna go to combat, and Josh, I'm swinging everything at you.
I don't have any blockers, so I will take 6. And I will go to 26. Okay, this is not so bad. I'm at 26 life. I was actually expecting it to be worse. So if that's all the damage I took from my opponents teaming up against me in 1 rotation of the table, I'm feeling pretty good.
So everything is going great. I've got lots of synergy going on, but there's still a lot of scary things on everybody else's board. So let me see what I can do about that. And then I will cast Culling Ritual.
Nice.
How many 2 CMC things does everybody have? I have 5.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have 1.
I have 1.
So you're gonna destroy 12 things and get 12 mana?
Wow.
That's right.
This card is the best thing to have happened to me. The beauty of land-based ramp is I don't have signets and soul rings to get blown up by this, but my opponents do.
What is this card? This is a new card from Strixhaven, and I hate seeing it. Looking at my board, all my extra mana is 2 mana value or less. I have a couple of creatures that are 2 mana value or less. This is gonna destroy me and leave me with very little.
Before that happens, I have 2 triggers. So I'll draw a card from Mangara. I will make a treasure token from Monologue Tax. Cat getting rid of everything 2 CMC or less. That's gonna lose me my artifacts, my treasure tokens. I can't let this happen. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Okay, so it resolves?
No. Well, it will, but not for me. Teferi's Protection.
So just when I get to have an effect on everyone's board, Olivia decides to phase out. Everything on her board survives, and I get less mana than I was hoping to. This sucks. Ugh.
So, yeah. Okay, so you are gone.
Okay.
Bye, Olivia.
Have fun on your trip. Spring break! Woo! No rules!
Sometimes when things get really tough, you need to get away from it all. Rediscover yourself. Take some time apart from everything that's stressing you out.
Okay, well, I have no response, Jimmy.
I can't do anything, though.
Okay, so Culling Ritual resolves. Boy, that was a gut punch. Wow, how the tables turned. The board wipe from Cat basically only hurts me. Jimmy's a lands deck, didn't lose much at all. Olivia just dodges the whole thing with that Teferi's Protection, but I lose almost my entire board.
So Josh, how many things did you lose again?
5.
How about you, Jimmy?
I lost 1.
I didn't lose anything.
Well, I did lose my commander, so that means I get 7 mana floating.
Wow. Pretty good.
Look at the bright side. If I hadn't left, she'd have more.
Yay!
Yes, bright side.
With the 7 floating mana, I will cast Banewitch Coven, and I will also recast my commander, which costs 4 now.
Nice. That's value.
So this card is perfect for me right now. I've got a huge graveyard, and whenever I gain life, I'll be able to get something back from it. So even though everything didn't go according to plan this turn, I'm still feeling pretty good about it. I will pass the turn.
Okay, my board's looking a lot worse than it was a second ago. So I'm untapping here, and I'm just feeling pretty down in the dumps. I was way ahead in this game, and that Culling Ritual from Cat just took my legs right out from under me. Because I have a full hand, but now I'm not gonna be able to deploy most of it because I just don't have that much mana. I'm gonna start by playing Birdie. God of Storytelling.
Ooh, nice. Josh has to rebuild a lot this turn, and this is a perfect way for him to start. The fact that this will trigger twice because of his commander, and Josh is playing such cheap spells, means that he's probably gonna be gaining mana every single time he casts something, so this might be a bad sign.
Then I'm gonna play a mountain, and I'm gonna tap 3.
Oh.
And I'm gonna cast Prismari Command.
Oh.
And I'm gonna choose to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. And my second mode will be, I will create a treasure token.
Nice.
Okay, so I have 3 triggers. First is Jorian. Remember, everything's triggering twice because of my commander, so I'll draw 2 cards. Bergie triggers, so I get 2 red mana in my mana pool. And then Veyran triggers and becomes a 4/4. And then the Prismari command will resolve, so I will create a treasure token. Draw 2 cards.
Nice.
So I draw the 2 cards off the Prismari command, and they're pretty good cards. This changes everything. I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen when I play them, but whatever it is, it's gonna be pretty nuts. And then I will discard 2 islands. How many cards does everyone have in their hand?
3.
6.
Okay, so I'm going to crack my treasure token. So now I have 3 red floating, and I'm going to play Jessica's Will.
Hey!
Oh.
That's gonna pump my commander twice, making it a 6/6. I'll get 2 more mana from Bergie.
Pretty good.
So I'm casting this card mainly because I need mana. The cards I get off it, hopefully they'll be useful later on down the line, but I already know what I want to cast. So I'm gonna target Cat. So I get 6 red mana, and then I'm gonna exile the top 3 cards in my library. 1, 2, 3. So I got Cyclonic Rift, Fury Storm, and Sulphur Falls.
Not great.
I've already played my land for the turn.
Jessica's Will, wow, so powerful. Josh needs the extra mana this turn, and he is getting it, and more cards to play. The only silver lining is that it looks like Josh doesn't have blue mana left, so he is restricted in that regard, but the value he's getting right here, whew, it's real.
Okay, so I'm gonna put these over here for now. So now I have 8 mana in my mana pool, which is exactly the amount that I need to do something crazy. So with all that floating mana, I am going to overload a different card. I'm going to play Mizzix's Mastery.
Come on.
Yikes.
Uh-oh.
So I'm gonna exile all the instants and sorceries in my graveyard and then cast them.
Oh no. This is the engine in its full, unabashed glory. He filled his yard with those Wheels of Fortune of tons of instants and sorceries that now he gets to just cast.
I'm sorry, what?
Honestly, I didn't even look at my graveyard before I cast this spell because it almost doesn't matter.
This is gonna be insane.
I'll get 2 more mana from Bergie and then Veyran triggers.
Wow.
Every time Josh casts another spell, his commander gets bigger and bigger. I'm terrified for my life. I've gotta make sure I just don't die to that immediately. Okay, while that is on the stack, I'm gonna crack my Misty Rainforest, go to 14, and get a forest.
Nice.
When it enters the battlefield, I'll gain a life because of the Courser, going back up to 15. And I'm gonna use my Retreat to Coral Helm trigger to tap down your commander.
Yep, seems smart before it gets too big. Oh crap, Jimmy taps down my commander here. Of course, I knew he could do that, I just forgot about it. And part of my plan was that Veyran was gonna grow really, really big and be able to take out one of my opponents that way. So that's not great. All right, Mizzix's Mastery is now gonna resolve. So I'm gonna find all the instants and sorceries in my graveyard. Let's see how many there are. There are
so many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's bad. Wow.
So I'm looking at the cards and I have to place them all on the stack in a specific order and choose their targets, and I can't change that once they start to resolve. Hang on, let me figure this out. So combined with Bergie and all the triggers, it's a lot to think about, and I just hope I do this right.
Honestly, the saving grace here, I get to watch him squirm and figure out what exactly he's going to do with this mess of a board state he's got, because this is complicated. I love when you make decks that are smarter than you.
Okay, I think this is the order that I'm gonna do things in. So I'm just gonna pick them up and we'll sort of go one at a time because they will resolve in this order.
Sure.
And then I start casting stuff off Mizzix's Mastery. A lot of stuff. Okay, so every spell I cast with Mizzix's Mastery is gonna give Veyran +2/+2, and I'll get 2 mana from Bergie, basically. Okay. So right now I've got 2 mana floating from Bergie, so we'll keep track of it. So I will start with the first Mizzix's Mastery spell, which is Opt. I will scry 1. That goes on the bottom. I will draw. Then I'll play Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards. Put 2 from my hand back on top of the library. Then I'm gonna play Thermal Flux, targeting this mountain. Becomes a snow mountain. I'll draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep.
Jeez. If there's one thing you can count on Joshly Kwai to do, it's draw cards. The craziest thing is that all of these casts, he's profiting. He's getting mana from them. I am very interested to know where this is leading to.
Then I'm gonna cast Sublime Epiphany. Burgi triggers. And I'm gonna return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, targeting the Courser of Krufix. Then I'm gonna create a token that's a copy of one of my creatures. I'll target my commander. And then I will draw a card.
Interesting. I don't know why he's copying his commander right now. He's gonna have to sacrifice one of them, right? This feels weird.
Okay, Courser bounces to my hand.
Yep, I draw, and then I make a copy of my commander.
It's legendary though.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
That one's tapped, I want one that's untapped. And then because of the legendary rule, I have to sacrifice one of them. So I'll sacrifice my actual commander, which will go to the command zone, and I'll keep the token. So this is my way around Jimmy tapping down my huge commander. I just make another commander that's untapped. Of course, it can't attack this turn, but I have ways in my deck to give things haste, so that probably won't be a problem. Then I will cast Crash Through. Burgi triggers, so I get 2 red mana in my mana pool. And Veyran's a 4/4. So I'll draw the card. And all of my creatures will gain trample.
Jeez.
Then I will cast Overmaster again. Veyran's now a 6/6. I will draw the card. Then I will cast Accelerate. Oh! This one will target my Veyran token and give it haste. So it's now an 8/8. And I'll draw the card.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's why he got rid of my only blocker. Because I'm at such a low life total. I thought Josh was just gonna spend his turn rebuilding his board, but looking at it now, he's poised to knock some of us out.
And then the next spell on the list is Salundi Vision. Burgi triggers. Veyran is a 10/10, and I will look at the top 6 and put an instant or sorcery into my hand. I will reveal Frantic Search, put that into my hand, put the other 5 on the bottom of my library. And then the next spell in the program is Jessica's Will. Veyran is now a 12/12. I don't actually control my commander because the token does not count, so I can only choose one mode. So I'm gonna add the mana equal to the number of cards in Kat's hand.
Which is 6.
Okay, so I get 6 more mana, so I have 26 red mana in my mana pool. Remember, Burgi's been giving me mana this whole time. Wow. So remember, I'm just casting the spells off of Mizzix's Mastery. I still have access to the spells that were previously in my hand. However, the way this is all rolled out, I only have red mana in my mana pool and all my lands are tapped. So what I need is a couple of blue mana to really finish off this sequence. Luckily, I do have a way to do that. And then I will cast the final card that I'm going to from the Mizzix Mastery program, and it is Prismari Command. So I'm gonna choose the mode, target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards, and also target player creates a treasure token. But I'm gonna maintain priority with that on the stack. I'm gonna cast one of my Jessica's Will cards from earlier, and I'm gonna cast Fury Storm, targeting the Prismari Command.
Uh-oh.
Wow. So I'll make 2 more Prismari commands.
Jeez.
That's my last thing. So these Prismari commands will resolve. Draw 2 and I'll discard 2. And then I'll draw 2 more and I'll discard 2 more. And then I'll draw 2 more and I'll discard 2 more. And I make 3 treasures.
Pretty good.
And my Veyran is a 22/22.
Jeez.
I have how much mana?
You have 24 red mana.
So at this point, Josh has a ton of mana and a huge commander. Somebody is definitely going down this turn. Please don't beat me, please don't beat me, please don't beat me.
All right, so Mizzix Mastery is not hanging over our heads anymore, and I'm gonna go to combat.
Okay, so I'm sitting over here just doing the math, tracking the mana and the damage that's about to happen. And here's the thing, the equation adds up to the same result every time. I'm probably gonna die.
So I'll lose the 2 extra mana I had from Jessica's Will, but Burgi says I get to keep the rest of my mana.
Yes.
Until end of turn. Jimmy?
Yeah?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna swing at you with my commander.
I cannot block, so I will die. And then I get smacked really, really hard.
Having Jimmy leave the game now seems quick. It doesn't hurt me, but it's one less person for everyone else to attack, so it doesnn't really help me either.
I'm pretty sure I'm next on the chopping block because Josh has a ton of mana, so let's see what happens.
Okay, so I've got 22 mana remaining, red mana in my mana pool. I'm gonna add 2 blue to that 22 red mana. I'm gonna play Explosion.
Kaboom!
No.
Where X is equal to 16.
You're gonna have 4 red mana floating, then you add 2 more because of Bergie. So now you're at 6 red mana.
And with that 6 red mana, I'm going to maintain priority, and I'm gonna cast Reiterate.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna fork my Explosion with Buyback. And I'm gonna point them both at you, Kat, for 32 total damage.
Wow.
So me?
Yeah. So this is gonna do 2 things for me. It's gonna knock Kat out of the game, make it to just 1v1 me and Olivia, but it's also gonna draw me almost all the rest of the cards in my deck. And with that many cards, I'm pretty sure I can knock Olivia out on my next turn.
Well, I will take 32 damage and I will also die.
You got exploded.
And then I die to a huge explosion to the face.
I've got 2 red mana left and 1 treasure, but also I have to draw 32 cards now.
Oh!
Normally, I don't mind seeing players go in a game, but when I'm staring down an opponent with a fistful of cards, can't say I'm feeling too confident. Really glad I played that Teferi's Protection, because let's be honest, I would not be alive without it.
29, 30, 31, 32. Oh boy.
Wow.
Maybe that wasn't the best idea. I thought okay. No, it was a good idea.
I'm pretty jealous, yeah.
So this is a little bit risky because I'm down to only 3 cards left in my deck. But I'm looking at my life total, looking at board position. I think I can take just about any punch Olivia's prepared to throw, and I can definitely win on my next turn.
That Reiterate's now in your hand.
Oh, right. And then with the 2 mana from Bergie, I'm gonna play Is It Signet, which creates 1 mana from Bergie because it's not an instant or sorcery. And then I'm going to use the treasure to use the Signet to cast Talisman of Creativity, which creates 1 mana from Bergie. And let me see if I've got a 1-drop when I cast
I have a
it.
feeling you've got a 1-drop in there.
Yeah, but most of them draw me cards and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you do.
No,
yeah.
no, I really don't.
No, it's really cute. I mean, you can keep drawing cards.
I really don't. And then I will tap the Talisman for a colorless, use the 1 mana from Bergie, and I want to cast Walking Atlas. I got 1 mana left from Bergie, but I'm not going to use it because all my 1 mana spells draw me a card, and I only have 3 cards left. And then I'll go to my end step, and I have 50 million cards, so I'm just going to choose 7 of them, and I'll discard this many cards.
Wow.
Josh is discarded to hand size, but it drew his entire library. He's got his best 7, but he's tapped out, and I think I have a window here. Let's see what we can do.
And I will pass the turn, and I am on a 3-turn clock if you do nothing.
All right. Well, you're gonna phase back in now. Welcome back to the table.
Hey, thanks. Okay, I will draw for turn.
Yeah.
How many cards in your library?
3. Uh-oh, I don't like that question. Olivia, I don't like her posture right now. She seems excited. I was hoping she would feel dejected, which would be an indication that I'm gonna win. But how she's acting, it makes me think she's got something tricky. Maybe I miscalculated here?
Well, let's have some fun.
Oh no.
I'm gonna play Altar of Dimension.
This is the worst possible card I could think of her playing in this situation because my library has almost no cards in it. If she sacks just 1 creature or 2, I will have 0 cards in it. And then on my turn, I'm going to lose the game because I won't have any cards in my library when I go to draw my card for turn. Why does this always happen to me?
Thank you for wheeling those 21 cards, Josh. Wouldn't have had it without you.
How come anytime anybody says how many cards you got in your library, that's what they then do?
It's a relevant question. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You wheeled me into this. I don't know what you want from me. So I am going to sacrifice Mangar the Diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
No, 3.
I only have 3 cards in my library, though.
How convenient.
What a shame. Since there's no cards in his library anymore, I mean, Josh is gonna die on his draw step anyway, but he's gonna untap and have an upkeep. We can't have that. Why give him the chance? I want to be the one to do it.
Your commander does trigger, so you get to make a level 2/1.
Ooh, that's right. I get an inkling.
And then I will cast Sign in Blood. Josh, will you lose 2 life and draw 2 cards? Yeah, do it. Come on, do it.
Usually you use Sign in Blood to make yourself draw cards, but when your opponent has no cards in their library, it's probably a good idea to point it at them. So yeah, I'm gonna die now because I don't have any cards in my library, so I can't draw the cards. Okay, well I will go to draw.
Finally!
So I die to drawing too many cards.
Good game.
Wow, good job.
Good game. We'll get there eventually. Good game. I'll just sign this death certificate in Josh Lee Kwai's blood and win the game.
Even though I lost, this was a really sweet game. I felt like my deck really showed its potential. I drew almost every card in it, so how could I really get mad about that?
Getting to hang out with friends was a lot of fun. We got to see everybody's deck do something really cool, but the best part of it was then seeing Olivia end up taking him out at the end. That was pretty awesome.
I love the new Strixhaven cards. Y'all, we got good cards in white. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness.
I love the flavor of Strixhaven. It was so much fun seeing a new identity put onto these traditional 2-color pairs.
I think this set is really fun to figure out which faction like speaks to you and not just your play style. Like I was a theater kid growing up, so Prismari was perfect for me.
This is my first win on game nights, and we took them to school, everybody. Silver Quill wins.
All right, you made it to the end of the episode.
And, you made it to the end of your deck.
Altar of Dimension again? That card is my bane.
I gotta say, that card definitely has a special spot in my heart, and now yours as well. Maybe it keeps you up at night, right?
Yes, it does.
Wow, what an explosive ending. A lot of fun as always, and man, it's always great to bring in finally some more new guests to play with these colleges, and gosh, I gotta give it up to everyone that helped work on those promos.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
The promos were so much fun to do. We had so many people involved. We're gonna have all of their information, all the credits and everything in the show notes. Make sure to check that out because so many people were involved in making all those college commercials. They were a lot of fun, but a lot of work as well. So we want to make sure everybody gets their due.
Yeah, and let us know which of the promos got you hyped the most, and if it changed your college choice too. That'd be really interesting to know. And of course, as always, a huge thanks to UltraPro for providing all of the swag, the play mats, and the sleeves and the deck boxes that we use on the show. Of course, they are here to make sure that you get some of that as well because we are doing giveaways. All right. There are 3 ways to enter as always. The first way is on Twitter. Simply send out a tweet using the hashtag GameNights, that's Nights with a K, and a link to this episode. And if you're on Facebook, go to our Facebook page, find the post about this episode, and in the comments, tag a friend that you think might want to watch or attend a college. And if you're on Instagram, simply use the hashtag GameNights and post whatever you want. And you have 1 week from the release date of this episode to enter, after which we will announce the winners online. So 3 ways to enter in total. Make full use of it.
Yeah, that's 3 ways to enter if you're on all the social media platforms. So like a good Strixhaven student would, make sure you do your homework.
Yeah, enter all the ways and hopefully you can win some of that awesome swag.
And before we go, I did want to say to everybody out there, I know some people are going to be disappointed that we did not play the pre-con decks straight out of the box for this set like we did. We had to make a choice because there's a main set and a commander product at the same time. But one thing we're doing that we haven't done before is the budget upgrade guides for each pre-con that we've been talking about on the podcast. Me and 3 members of our team are each going to take one of those upgrades, and then in an episode of Extra Turns coming up, we're going to play those decks against each other to see who did the best upgrade. Wow. So that should be coming out in a few weeks. Make sure you hit that notification bell and button so that you are told when that Extra Turns episode releases.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those decks face off against each other. I know how excited I am.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time.